we are with my friend Jason Golden at the Golden Acre Urban Farm here. Tell us what we're doing, Jason.
Today we are inoculating shiitake mushroom logs. I've harvested 4-foot segments of red oak from our tree, and they have been waiting for 3 weeks. Now they have been hydrated in a water bath, and we are ready to drill and inoculate.
All right.
So what we've done is we've soaked our oak logs in a bath. You can use your bath inside your house or any other kind of a bath to hydrate the logs. The logs have been drying now for a couple weeks, and so what we want to do is we want to provide a fertile bed for the spores to take hold, so we moisturize our logs. So I will grab a log. Got these boards on my sawhorses here to keep everything from rolling around, give me good control.
So these have been soaking how long?
They've been soaking for 24 hours.
All right.
This is a 6-inch log.
Yeah.
I want 6 lines of spores.
6 lines. Boom, boom, boom. That's one line.
Right. So what I'll do is I'll mark it just to help me. One there, one there. I have an 11/30 seconds drill bit. I've taped it to 1 1/4 inches. The plugs are 1 inch long, and so I've giving it a little bit more space. Once the plugs are in, we will fill the extra space with some beeswax.
All right.
So I'm going to come 6 inches in. I'm just going to eyeball it with my fingers.
Does the 6 inches have anything to do with the size of the log?
No, 6 inches is the same no matter what size log. It's just to allow the fungus that's within each dowel to have a significant amount of meat to be chewing on, so you want to space them out. Now I'm turning the log so as I can drill my next one. My next line is here. Now the trick is we want them in a diamond shape so that the spores are...
So you go here.
My line's here, so...
And then here.
Yeah. Okay, so our holes are drilled. We're going to take some shiitake mushroom spores in our dowels, and we're going to put one into each hole. So we've got a hammer, we've got a spore, and then just some kind of an object to hammer it in a little bit farther. Whatever you got laying around. The next thing we want to do is drive them in as deep as they'll go to leave a little bit of space for the beeswax covering.
So we're going to seal these in with beeswax.
That's right. We've inoculated our log, our plugs are in place, and now we're ready to seal with beeswax. I picked this up from a local farmer. Basically, we use that just to hermetically seal the spores in the log to keep competition from other fungus out and to give the spores a chance to basically germinate.
Heating up the beeswax here. Ready to take it off.
So we've got our melted beeswax. I just pour just a little bit in, try not to drip any, but if you drip it's not a big deal. I just do it like this and try to do a steady hand. Fill it up to the top. And again, this is to keep the shiitake spores safe from competing fungus.
So this is the beeswax after it's hardened here. So Jason, tell them about this stack of logs right here.
Well, this stack is sitting in the shade, and we are basically counting down the months until we can start fruiting these logs. So these logs take at least 6 months before the first fruiting. In nature, they fruit during the rainy season, which is spring or fall. But if you happen to inoculate out of season, you can shock the logs yourself. And what's involved in that is basically taking it back to the original water bath, soaking them for 24 to 48 hours. And then when you take them out, it's said that if you knock them on the ground and just shock the logs, they will fruit shortly thereafter.
So how long have these logs been sitting here?
These have been here for about 5 months. I expect to be able to hydrate and shock these logs next month.
How often do you have to water these?
Well, it depends on how much rain you get. I tend to water them about every 2 to 3 weeks. But if you've had plenty of rain, you don't require any special treatment.
Okay. And is there a reason they're stacked like this?
I've just done this to be a decorative feature in the yard. You can stack them. Primarily, you want to raise them off the ground to keep them from getting into the natural fungus structure of the land. So I'm raising them up to keep them basically clean.
Keep them from competing fungus. Okay. Great. Well, we're going to magically show you these in the next clip here, already fruiting. So Jason, you got a lot of wood here. You got some hedge back there. You got some ash and oak. Why are we using oak versus any of the other wood you got here on the property?
Well, oak is the native wood in Japan that shiitake mushrooms grow from. And on the market, shiitakes grown from oak gain a higher value than any of the other wood species. It has been said that you can grow them in cherry and some of the other hardwoods, but oak is the premium wood for shiitake mushrooms.
Okay, and can you use just any oak, or does it have to be like old, dead for a while, or what do you got to do?
Well, you want new cut wood. You don't want wood that's been in your woodshed for 3 years. So do some pruning on your trees, but it's got to be new wood.
Shiitakes will fruit as early as 6 months from inoculation. These guys took 18 months. We just let them fruit with the season. Probably could have watered them a little bit more. But they'll fruit once a month after this. By soaking them in water, you can get them to fruit again for another 5 years until the log completely falls apart. What you want to do is simulate spring by soaking them in ice water, or if it's already cold outside, you can soak them in water and they'll fruit again. Soak them in ice water in the summer, and it thinks that spring's here, it's ready to fruit again, and boom, there they are.
We are ready to harvest some of our shiitake mushrooms. You want to get them before the heads fully open up. You want the heads to separate from the stem to where you can see the gills about 2/3 of the way. When they open up too much, that's not good. You want to get them. You don't want to get them too early, and you don't want to get them too late. So these guys right here, these two in particular are perfect. They're a little bit too much even. You can see underneath they still have the curl. You can get them right before this or right here at this stage is good. These here did not even exist 4 days ago. They were under the wood. They started poking up, and here 4 days later we got a harvest. We're going to harvest some more tomorrow, and we're going to have some stir fry tonight.
You want some?